welcome back to what is another glorious day on the sunny Gold Coast. I'm here again at our headquarters at 50 Cavill Avenue, Surfers Paradise. Jack Corbett, Head of Business Development, taking a few minutes to have a conversation with you about a subject that we have simply had to create some video material around due to popular demand from our viewers. A lot of people in both their medium and long-term goals very much have a focus on purchasing their own property. Some of you that are watching this that are already property owners may be beginning to consider what investment property opportunities exist for you. So I wanted to take a few really quick minutes to outline the conditions from which we here on the Gold Coast are currently operating within. Now, of course, focusing on the fact that we have a 50-year low in interest rates, right now is the time to be more calculated than ever. When I say calculated, I don't mean cautious. I'm not attempting to put people off from what is a very natural investment vehicle for them in purchasing their first property. But please do bear in mind that over the next 8 to 10 years, as interest rates begin to fluctuate, it's important that we've taken on board a loan that is manageable for us. Now, look at the Gold Coast, and let's say that the average property is probably a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house or unit. You might be able to invest in a property of that nature for somewhere in the region of about $400,000. To be able to purchase that property, generally, people look to get started with about a 10% deposit. That would be about $40,000 in total. Now, some of you might be sitting there thinking, well, where am I going to find $40,000? Most of the time, I struggle to find $400, let alone $40,000. But when we break it down and recognize that anything's worth having does not come quickly or easily, let's set a plan in place that allows us to be able to get into that property as soon as possible. If you're starting from the very, very beginning and you do not have one single cent put towards an investment, then let's have a look at what it will take for you to be able to purchase this property. Realistically, $40,000 is probably going to take you about 4 years to save. If we broke that down, that's $10,000 per year, or just $193 per week. Look at 7 days of the week. If I said to you right now, could you save $25 today? I assume that a majority of you could. It's only about stringing those days together, 365 days of the year, 4 years in a row, with discipline that is going to assist you to get towards that $40,000 deposit that you require. Once you have it, fantastic. Time to buy a house. Now, a lot of people don't quite understand what the benefits of purchasing a house is. Now, if you're renting a similar property, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathroom, you're probably investing or spending amount of about $400 per week. Now, the important part is rent is a cost. That is dead money. That is money that you spend for a service that you never see 1 single cent in return for, whereas a property is an investment, an amount that is going to capitally appreciate and is going to make you greater wealth as the value of the property increases over time. Now, in the last 50 years on the Gold Coast, which by the way is the fastest growing city in the Southern Hemisphere outside of the United Arab Emirates, the value or the price of houses has doubled on average every 10 years. Now, with compounding growth, that is a return of 7.2% per annum. So, even though if you were to take a $360,000 loan from the bank to be able to make up that $40,000 deposit to purchase the house in itself at, say, 5% interest, which would be slightly more than what you'd be able to accumulate a loan for right now, that means that you're going to be repaying in interest $18,000 per year or $346 per week. Couple with that, of course, council rates and water rates. By the time that you've got to your actual weekly outlay, it's going to be very, very similar to that $400 that you were spending on rent anyway. The only difference is, 10 years from now, that $400,000 property is going to be worth $800,000. So when you repay your loan to the bank of $360,000 without taking into consideration your capital gains tax, you are going to return $440,000. I'm quietly confident that's going to move you a little bit closer to your greater vision of wealth creation and your own personal vision of success. I hope this gives you a very brief overview of the property market here on the Gold Coast. If there's anything further that you would like to understand, or you would like the assistance of actually getting started with buying a house, whether it be with locating the right property or alternatively achieving a loan that's going to allow you to be able to purchase that property, then feel free to call us. What we will do is recommend you to another fantastic organization here on the Gold Coast located in our same venue called Platinum Finance, and also another division called Platinum Private Wealth. There, Peter McNamara and his team will be able to assist you to make sure that you know the ins and outs of all the different options that you have at your disposal. We look forward to the opportunity to potentially assist you in the future. It's been an absolute pleasure. You take care.